Hello, everyone. Welcome to the 2020-2021 Senior Design Expo here at CalStat LA. My name is Pasindu Siriwardena, and I'm the team lead for this project. For this project, we have partnered up with the Commonwealth Casualty Company. The advisor for this project is Dr. Jiang Guo. The liaisons are MAHAN, HAJIANPOUR, and Jeffrey Lipolis. We're also given a lot of support from George Sanchez, a graduate student here at CalStat LA.
Hello, my name is Carlos Mendoza, and for our senior design project, we will be partnering with Commonwealth Casualty Company. Commonwealth Casualty Company was founded in 2010 with a commitment to provide affordable insurance to everyone. Commonwealth Casualty Company offers a full suite of affordable products and services, whether you seek homeowners, renters, auto insurance, or roadside assistance. They develop their own software applications for rating, reporting, policy management, customer service, and direct sales. Internally developed and maintained by a small team of software engineers.
Hi, my name is Luis Lucero, and our main objective is to develop a document templating solution to enable dynamic generation for policies. What does this mean? We have a list of boilerplate document templates that, when at runtime are rendered, are populated with client data to create policy documents for specific clients. We created an application that uses Pebble templating engine, has a user interface to modify templates, version control templates, and view side-by-side document comparison. We also used AWS to host our EC2 server.
My name is Rongfeng. I will introduce technology we use in this project. Here are some technology we use to program. First, the backend software for this project will be written in Java, because Java is fast, powerful language. Also, it is easy to import. The second one is SpringBoot. SpringBoot is an open source Java-based framework used to create microservices. By using SpringBoot, we can test, add, and manage our work efficiently and incorporate the many dependencies for functionality. Not to mention, handling dependency management is a difficult task for a big project. SpringBoot resolves this problem by providing a set of dependency for developer convenience. The one is Pebble template engines. Pebble is a modern template engine for Java. The future for this template is inherent and easy to read syntax. Here are some technology we use to help us communicate, organize, and store our work. First one is Discord. Discord is main form of communication tool. We used to have informal meeting with group member, people around and instant hop in to talk without having to call. Second one is Trello. Trello is a cooperation tool that organizes the project into board. Imagine a whiteboard filled with a list of sticky notes, with each note as a task for each person. It tells us what's been working on, who's working on what, and where something is processed. Also, as long as the Trello can connect to email, it will send notification and reminder by email. The third is very familiar software for C student, GitHub. GitHub is version control system we use to constant change to the code, release new version. It will easily cooperate as we can download a new version of the project, make change and upload the newest version.
So next I'm going to talk about the AWS database. When we make changes to the local database, that change will be reflected in the cloud database. RDS is version controlled by AWS. So in case we need to scale back right to a previous database, we can do that. And also it is secure and efficient data storage. And we know today, right, a lot of databases are on the web. And the good thing about this, right, in case, we lose our data, right, it's always backed up somewhere on the web. We can always retrieve it. So next, and right here, I'm talking about the features, some cool features. So one cool feature is the auto scales. So what that means is that if your database reaches the max threshold your database can hold for storage, it increases the maximum storage again, which is pretty cool, right? You don't have to go in there and change it every single time. You can also set a threshold for how much that the database can hold. For example, you want to hold 20 GB, the max will hold 200 GB. And the last thing is that it has a server's health bar option to keep track of the health status of the database. And one thing I want you to look at is the red circles. So it's really easy to connect to your database. So if you have used MySQL Workbench, you basically, you would just copy and paste the endpoint, your port number, and and type in your password you use and just connect as it would if you're using the MySQL database. So next, I'm gonna talk about the EC2. So EC2 is used for cloud computing, and our Spring application is using EC2 to run on the server that is deployed, and the server is scalable and provides an efficient connection to scale web applications. EC2 allows for projects to be accessed with proper credentials. And if you look at the picture, this is how the project will look like if it's run on an EC2 server, or run the same exact way as if you're running locally on your machine.
Okay, so one of the key components to our software application is the usage of AWS S3 buckets, better known as Amazon Simple Storage Service. The benefits of AWS S3 is the creation of buckets and being able to store data in those buckets. Buckets are the fundamental containers in Amazon S3 for data storage. Store an infinite amount of data in a bucket. Upload as many objects as you like into an Amazon S3 bucket. But the question is, what type of data is stored in those buckets related to our project? So templates or documents from Commonwealth Casualty Company are stored in AWS S3. The reason why is because using AWS S3, we are able to version control our documents or templates and have a list of past and present documents or templates. So with S3, we can push new templates when they're ready and also remove ones that are no longer in use. We can also determine whether we want to control which templates appear to a user based on either date or directly given visibility. With that being said, now I will be discussing about the templating engine that we used for our project. So as I mentioned before, our main objective is to develop a document templating solution to enable dynamic document generation of policies. The templating engine that we use for our application is Pebble, and Pebble is a Java templating engine. First off, what is a templating engine? A templating engine, also known as a template processor, is software designed to combine templates with a date model to produce result documents. Why did we choose Pebble? Well, Pebble features templates inheritance and has a very concise syntax, easy to read syntax, which makes templates more readable. Pebble supports everything you need to build powerful templates with ease, multiple inheritance, blocks, output escaping, and much more. You can implement your own language constructs such as new tags, filters, and functions that can be added to Pebble very easily.
Hello, my name's Nancy Rosa, and I'm going to be talking about our relational database and JPA. Data is an integral part of our application, and as my previous team members have discussed, we're implementing AWS Cloud Database in our application. So this is where our relational database is stored. The data stored in our relational database is used to relate documents, to populate our UI, and more importantly, to populate the documents used in our application. There are several APIs available for us to use with Java for performing database operations, such as storing and retrieving data. We chose to use Java Persistence API, or JPA for short. JPA is a collection of classes and methods used to persistently store data in a database. We went with JPA because, generally speaking, JPA is simpler, cleaner, and less labor-intensive to use, especially compared to trying to juggle the individual components of JDBC, SQL, and handwritten mapping all together in one application. By following the JPA framework, we can avoid dealing with certain initializations, setups, certain connections, and boilerplate code, as JPA either takes care of that itself or makes it easy for us to take care of that on our own. So JPA entities are a vital part of the process when using JPA, as they are essentially a database table mapped as a PODRO. A JPA entity has the same basic structure as a PODRO with properties and methods. So essentially how these entities work is that one of these entities represents a table stored in the database, and every instance of an entity represents a row in that table. How these entities are created is similar to creating any POJO. First, we define properties and methods of each class. Then we include certain JPA libraries to our class structure. This allows us to append specific JPA annotation to the areas of the class. These JPA annotations are used by JPA when mapping the entities to the database tables. We use several different JPA annotations, all of which help to structure our database as we wanted. Some annotations used include @table, which defines that the entity should be used as a table in the database. @ID, which defines that an attribute should be used as the primary key. @column, which defines that an attribute should be used as a column in a table. JPA also includes relational annotation, which helps define relationships between tables in a database. Some annotations used include many-to-one, one-to-many, and one-to-one, all of which allow for the appropriate relational mapping between entities. And based on these entities, JPA will automatically map information in the entities to a SQL database to create the appropriate tables, keys, attributes, and table relations. So here is our relational database schema of our relational database. To briefly explain the structure of the table, the entries on the far right are, for the most part, standalone tables that relate to the documents and packages used in our application. They only relate to one other table, which is the client table, since clients have certain documents. The remaining tables are all used to populate our documents and are all related to each other in some way. We have our client table, which holds our application's client information. Each client can have one auto policy, and this auto policy table connects the majority of the other tables. As the auto policy includes information such as insured vehicles, certain policy and vehicle coverages, policy fees, and driver information. So by incorporating JPA, we can build up this relational schema in the form of JPA entities, and JPA will create the appropriate database structure for us to use in the backend.
We used various dependencies and libraries for our project, and first one is the SpringBoot Starter web. It's used for building web applications, and it became very useful for Spring MVC, as our project uses multiple models and controllers. We also use the Pebble SpringBoot Starter, which is a powerful templating engine that is enforcing the Pebble template, and it's easy to integrate in Spring Boot. The Spring Boot dev tools used to make development easier, and it has the live reload function. We also use the Spring Boot Starter mail, which is used for the Spring Boot framework's email sending support. So we're able to email the document. And we also use the Spring Boot Starter data GPA, which allows for the creation of data entities when searching the database. And we also use the AWS Java SDK, which is what enables the use of AWS services in our project. We also use the MySQL connector Java. It's used to connect the MySQL database. And we also used two for PDF. The first one is iText 7 Core and iText PDF. It's used to sign, merge, and split PDFs. And it allows us to write the PDFs in Java when they're generated. And the other one is HTML to PDF, which is used for converting from HTML to PDF, as well as CSS to PDF.
So system features is what our application could do. It could create, edit, delete templates and clients straight from the UI. And we could generate documents based on client information. And it also has the email service, which sends users basic emails, as well as send users the generated documents. And it also converts the templates to PDF format.
Hi, I'm Junli. I'll be talking about our overall flow of our app application. So the user will first gain access to our home page. The home page will display a template list tab or a client list tab. In the template list, the user can view, edit, or add templates, and those templates will be updated in the AWS S3, and it will return back to the template list as updated. In the client list, it will have the client profiles. They're drawn from our database. In the client profile, there's many functions. First function is we can add documents to the client. The user can select documents, and then you can view the client document draft. When they choose to save, the document will save to the client and will update in the AWS S3 bucket before sending you back to the updated client profile. Next, we have view and add packages, which is grabbing multiple documents and put them in a single package. It works the same way as adding a documents to a client. Next, you have view template as PDF, and we have our email module.
Not only did we want to streamline the document generation process, we also wanted our application to have the ability to send these documents to clients via email. The user has the option to send a basic email containing just text and body, or the user can send an email with attachments. The attachments are clickable links containing one, some, or all of the documents on a specific client's policy in PDF format. If you look at the photo right here on the page, we have a space for subject, space for body of an email, and clicking on any one of the checkboxes will attach that document to the body. The template management features we've implemented include template comparison that allows the user to view a side-by-side of any two templates and view any edits that were made. Version control consisting of new or updated versions of templates and are organized by date. The user can also edit, delete, and add templates to the application. The package management feature consists of selecting multiple templates and grouping them together where they are stored in RDS and can be added to any client policy.
For the client management feature in this application, it allows for the user to do multiple operations on a client. Firstly, we have the viewing of a list of clients that have already been added to the company. Secondly is the editing of basic information of a client. Thirdly, we have the deletion of a client. We also have the viewing of an individual client that is part of a company and viewing the files of that specific client as documents. Throughout the past year, we have learned a lot. In terms of technology, we have learned how to combine multiple aspects of technology of AWS into one application. We've also created a project using Spring Boot as a foundation. Lastly, we have integrated Pebble templates as our high-level templating engine. Working as a team. In terms of communication, we have learned to work as a team and communicate. Working in a group of 10 members is difficult, but we managed to coordinate our tasks. In terms of deadlines, we learned to manage our time and meet deadlines for every assignment, spanning from last year till now. Lastly, in terms of being job ready, we have become job ready because we know how to build a full-scale project with both the front end and the back end portions of the project. And now we will have a short demo.
Okay, now for the demo, we will be starting with template listing. This template section is showing us the versions, the view, and the edit, and how to add templates, and also how to delete templates. So for now, we're going to be viewing how the S3 looks like. This is how our S3 looks like right now in the AWS website, which shows when the files were most currently updated. These are the files the templates we have so far. And it also shows in our template section, which shows the exact same thing. And it shows the version date. So right now, what I'm going to be doing is adding a template, which also adds it to the S3. I am going to select a template, this one right here. I'm going to name it All Declaration Example, just for this purpose. I'm going to upload it to the S3. Okay, so now it shows right here that this is, I just created it right now. And it also goes to the S3, which I click refresh. It's right there. It shows right here. It shows that I just recently updated it right now. And what I'm going to be showing also is how to edit. So for this document right here, I'm going to edit this template. So once I go to template, I just choose what I want to change. Let me change this one, our example one. So for our example one, I'm going to take out the images. It's an image that shows the logo of Commonwealth. And in the bottom, I'm going to save these changes, which also saves them in the S3. So for now, you see that it changed. Our version date is now the current time right now. And our S3 is also going to change once I refresh it. It has our current time right now. So if I go back to our program, we can also view. If I click view, we can see our current updated template, which shouldn't show a logo because that was recently taken out. So as you can tell right here, it doesn't show any logo in this template. All the this is showing our example client, which is Luis Lucero, his address. All of these values are dynamic, which show the policy number. Each client has their own policy number, and all these variables are dynamic in our program that are stored inside our RDS. And for now, this is just our example person, our client. So if I go to versions, show versions, it's going to show me all the current versions of this template. This template has been changed 4 times, and it shows me 4 different version IDs. And I can also view old versions if I like. So I'll show the current version that we have for this template, which, if I believe correctly, it shouldn't have a logo. Yes, it doesn't have a logo. And I'm going to show the previous version that should have a logo. And let's see, it should have a logo, yes. So let's say that deleting that logo was a mistake. So I want to correct that mistake. A way to correct that is to delete that version, which is this one. I press delete. And also, it also has a prompt to allow users to opt out of deleting things, like just in case they press it by accident. So for us, in our case, we want to delete this. So we press OK, and it should delete. So now our most up-to-date version will be the one with the logo. And this also changes in our S3. If I refresh it, it should show the change right here. So it just changed back to our previous version that has a logo, which if I view it, it should have the logo now, which should be right here, right there. The logo's there. And that would also show in the template section on the view. This view shows the most up-to-date version of our template. And as I said before, this should have the logo that I deleted previously. There it is. So now this template these template listings are being called inside our client profile, which would be calling our database to store information inside the templates to create PDFs. And I also wanted to show a way to compare templates, which if I click these 2 different versions, I can show, let me go back and change that logo again, so I could show you the compares for it. Let me take off that logo one more time. Save it. Now go to versions. A way to compare these 2 templates is by pressing these 2 checkboxes and comparing both of the versions, the one with the logo and one without the logo that I recently changed. Right here, as you can see, is on the right, it shows the old previous version, which has the logo, and the other version, which doesn't have a logo. And that's great for knowing changes that users make in a template, like as well. And we could go through all the file to check different changes if there was more changes in here. And yeah, that's what this section does right now. This template section, it lists all the templates, it views templates, it edits templates. You could also view different versions, you could compare versions, you could also delete. And that's what templates does.
Hi, my name is Saul Rugama, and I'll be demonstrating the client's side of the GUI. We use Bootstrap to style our pages, and what we have here is a list of clients retrieved from an RDS database. This data is filled in using Pebble templates. We have here a search function that lets the user search by first name, last name, or client number. We can also add a client, fill in the appropriate data, and upon adding the client, we can see our new client here. Now we can select the client, see a more detailed view of their information, edit set data, save these changes, and immediately reflect. Now we can also delete the client. Now going back to our client profile, we have here is a list of documents, or lack thereof, that are linked to this client in particular. We can choose to add a document to link to this client. We can preview the document before adding it. And if this fits the needs, we can add it. Now our newly added document is here, linked to this client in particular. We can also add more than one document at a time by choosing packages. Packages are a bundle of documents which we can create, choose the appropriate documents, title our package, add the package to our list. Now our welcome package, we can see here is made up of these 4 documents. And similarly, we can preview these documents. And if these documents fit our needs, or say we don't agree with a document that is here, we can delete this document from our package, but not from our S3 bucket. Now we can click select, and this will link all the documents in our welcome package to our client. And here are the 4 documents. Now for demonstration purposes, we are at our this client's profile named Carlos Mendoza, and I filled in my personal email, and we'll go to email client. From here we'll write in our subject. We'll say hello Carlos, and we'll select our all declaration page and click send. Now upon sending it, it's going to redirect us back to the client profile, and Carlos should have received the email. Now we are looking at my Gmail inbox, and what we see here is our email. We have welcome to CCC, hello Carlos, and a link to the all declaration page. Now clicking it takes us to a PDF version of our document template. And what we have here is a file for the user to print, save, or do as they please with. And this concludes this part of the presentation. Thank you.